What's going on, guys? It's the Cornermen podcast, back at it again with another episode. This week we're going to cover UFC 203. We're going to go over the local fighter rankings we put together and then the Ambition 10 card. Let's kick off first with the UFC 203 card, which the main event is the biggest thing. You got Stipe versus Alistair.
How do you see that going?
Man, honestly, I've been thinking about this one a lot, and I don't know. Because Alistair's changed his fight style up so much that I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know how he's going to approach it. I don't know if he's going to try and wait back and get Stipe coming in and counterpunch, or I don't know if he's going to try and push a pressure and do a little Ubering stuff, which didn't work when Fabricio tried to rush him. He got fucking clocked, and Alistair's chin is known to not be great when it comes to big power shots. So.
And I think that's crazy. Like, a guy like Alistair has all the talent in the world. I guarantee he's the best fighter in the heavyweight division. He just doesn't have a chin.
Yeah.
He's so much like Edson Barbosa.
Yeah.
Like, they're so, put together. I don't ever see them losing a fight unless it's by that chin. Especially now, the new Alistair, he looks great.
Yeah, and it's a big turn on. Alistair's probably got the most decorated striking credentials in the entire UFC.
Yeah, absolutely.
He held so many different belts, some of them simultaneously, and then won K1 once or twice. I think he won once.
Once.
I don't remember if he did it twice or not. I know for a fact he won it once. I think it was like the 06 Grand Prix or something. And
if he wins this, he's going to be the only fighter to have Strikeforce, K1, and UFC title, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
He's held so many different. Didn't he win a Pride title? Or no? No.
Yeah. He did.
Did he?
I think so.
I can't remember. I don't even know what weight class that was at. Because while he was in Pride, he went from light heavyweight to heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember it.
I don't understand how he lost fights to light heavyweights.
I don't either.
Crazy. But Stipe is all reliable, man. Everybody always doubts him, and then he just comes and he proves you wrong.
I never thought he was going to beat Verdum.
Yeah.
I didn't like Verdum, so I was going with Stipe. I was hoping he would win. And man, did he not showcase some great skills. Stayed calm under pressure. I mean, Verdum was running at him, and he knew, I'm going to colt that uppercut in there, and he got him. Great shot. Stayed composed. He's also had a lot of tough matchups. I think one of his first fights I ever saw was against maybe Gonzaga, somebody like that, and I was like, he's not going to be. Or no, it was against Philip Fries.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking like, okay, this is going to be weird. I didn't think either one of them had much potential to go anywhere, but God, man, he has really risen. Like, he took himself to the next level.
I thought he outboxed Dos Santos.
Yeah.
In that fight.
Yeah,
and that's crazy to outbox a guy like that.
Yeah, and that was a big awakening. I actually started to see a lot more potential. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I had it wrong on this guy.
But he's got one of those, he's not spectacular at anything, but he's good at everything.
Yeah, so he's still like a jack of all trades and still deadly. And he seems to have a pretty decent chin. He's taken some fucking bombs, man. Who did he fight? He fought, was it Roy Nelson maybe? Somebody was just... Every time they hit him, I thought he was going out, and it was like, ugh. And he lasted. He's got that DC type chin where you can take an Anthony Johnson shot and keep going. That's ridiculous.
And the co-main event, it's got to be looked at as somewhat of a number one contenders fight.
Definitely.
If Fabricio Verdum can beat Travis Brown, or Travis Brown can beat Fabricio Verdum, you'll see them emerge as the next title.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they did it. Like, say Travis Brown wins. If they were like, okay, we're going to give you one more fight, because then they give Kane the title shot. Yeah. Because Kane just demolished Travis Brown.
Yeah.
Or if they even do Verdum.
I didn't even think about that. I completely forgot about that.
Rematch. I think this solidifies if Kane gets a title shot or if he has to fight Fabricio again. Because honestly, I kind of think Fabricio's going to get it out in the first round. But
I got Fabricio winning it too. Travis Brown doesn't have the greatest chin. Fabricio's got good striking now.
Yeah,
I know he got caught with
Stipe,
and if that fight hits the mat, it's a done deal.
Yeah, I think he fucked around too much, thinking that Stipe wasn't really going to be much of a threat. I mean, the whole time he kept just making stupid faces and he messed around. But god damn, did Stipe make him regret that? He won't do that again. He's coming in Travis Brown. He's going to be focused.
Yeah, I sure hope so, because I want to see the old Fabricio back.
I do too.
Mickey Gall, CM Punk.
You know, this is Mickey Gall. People think just because he had one pro fight that he's a slouch. That motherfucker's got some skills.
Yeah.
He really does have some skills. Like, you can watch his fights. If you have Fight Pass or if you've watched anything, they just released I don't know if it wasn't embedded. I think it was like the Rogan Countdown. And they show, or even if you were to watch the Dana White Looking for a Fight, you see it. But, dude, his first fight in, he drops that kid, and instead of trying to TKO him, he goes and gets the choke.
Yeah.
You know, he's smart enough to realize, he's composed enough to realize, don't do it. Let's go for something I'm a little better with.
He's got the brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And then people don't know, the guy that he fought in his first UFC fight, Mike Jackson, he's a guy out of Houston. He actually does a lot of reporting and stuff, so if you guys want, go follow Mike Jackson, Mike the Truth Jackson, on Facebook or anything like that. And he keeps you really up to date with the Houston scene, kind of like what we're doing here for the Victoria scene kind of thing. But he's actually a professional boxer, professional kickboxer.
Shit.
And he had 12, 13 maybe amateur MMA fights.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
and not only that, he's undefeated as a boxer and a kickboxer.
Wow.
And for Mickey Gall to go in there and drop him the way he did, and I don't know if you followed any of the trash talk leading up to that, but you know, Mike Jackson, he's got a big personality.
Yeah.
If he stands with me, he's gonna get knocked out, blah blah blah.
Wow.
You know, and he had a right to say it, he's a pro boxer.
Yeah.
And Mickey Gall's a grappler, but who got dropped?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So Mickey Gall is a legit fighter. CM Punk, he's one of our Rufus Sport guys. I got to train with him a little bit up there. He's with a great camp, so you know we're gonna see kind of what they were able to do with him. It's been months since I've trained with him, so you know you never know. He can grow leaps and bounds. It's all about the work that he puts in.
Yeah.
Over these last 2 years, he's had a couple injuries and stuff. So
Yeah, I watched the evolution of Punk, and I actually saw when he first started, and they didn't really have a fight. He was just taking classes, and they were trying to gauge where he was at. He didn't look too great obviously at the start. It was literally like 2 months in, and he was just learning. But then I saw some stuff from him now 2 years later, just quick little snippets, but you can already tell he was a lot sharper. He looked a lot more composed. One thing that really bothered me was the way he would stand and hold his hands up. He was like, it was very weird. Duke seems to fix all that. It doesn't seem like a problem. You can watch anything you can watch. If you want to see what I'm talking about, is literally watch the evolution of Punk and then watch the stuff that, like the embedded and the little things they've done from this past week, and you see a big difference. So
yeah,
I still think Mickey Gall has the edge just because he's proven. But I'm actually honestly really excited for this fight just because it's going to show, like, it can almost go to show any normal person just getting the right training could potentially, you know, how they could potentially do in general. It's almost like
I don't think he could have picked a better gym to go to, not only because we're a Rufus Sport affiliate or anything like that. The camaraderie that they have there, the partnership, the teamwork, and then he's got a bunch of guys his size who are really out there grinding for the UFC, like a guy like Mike Rhodes, who was in the UFC. You know, he lost his contract, but he's on a 4-fight win streak now. Coming back.
Won the title.
And he won a title. Then you got Gerald G3, who is fighting for the RFA middleweight title. You know, these are a bunch of guys that are hungry and they're out there grinding. They can show a guy like CM Punk exactly what it's going to take in the MMA world, because it's completely different than wrestling. But they can kind of guide him and show him, you know, hey, this is how we're getting there. Follow our lead.
Right.
You know, and especially with the sparring and stuff, you get. They got a ton of guys out there the same experience as Mickey Gall for CM Punk to work with, and I don't think Mickey Gall has the same level of training partners that CM Punk does.
That's something I was wondering about. I know one of the things I saw said that he's a brown belt now under Gracie, whatever Gracie gym he's been going to, which I think you said that earlier, he was a brown belt.
Yeah, he's a brown belt.
But yeah, I mean, he went out, he started to look for quality because he realizes even if he win or lose this fight, he'll probably be in the UFC for another fight or two.
Yeah.
And I don't think they'll just cut him if he loses, but
They
You
cut
never
Mike
know.
Jackson pretty quick.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, you never know how things are gonna go with that fight, and you're right. I think CM Punk has more quality. They have a ton of guys like in Bellator. They have Emmanuel Sanchez. They also have somebody
Hafian
else.
Stouts
Yeah.
is in VFC.
Oh, he's in VFC too.
Yeah,
That's one of my
O'Day's
favorites.
RFA. I mean, they got
Eric Koch, even though he's hurt, he's
Yeah,
still
Eric-
high,
oh my God,
high
dude.
quality guys.
Eric Koch. I don't care what anybody says. Eric Koch is probably the best kickboxer, other than Duke Rufus, obviously, that I've had to spar with. That guy is gonna rain terror whenever he comes back in that 155-pound division. It was unbelievable.
That's a crazy motherfucker right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really. You also, honorable mentions on the card. You have Uriah Faber fighting. Everybody loves. Most people love Uriah Faber.
Jimmy Rivera. That's gonna.
That's a
Jimmy
tough
Rivera,
fight.
yeah. It's gonna be a tough fight, but this could either be one of those things again where Uriah fights his way back to number one contender.
Yeah.
Or it could be one of those things where we start seeing Uriah fade out and maybe take a bigger part in his gym
Yeah.
as a coach and as the leader
Yeah.
of the team. Maybe take a step back from fighting.
Yeah. I wouldn't even be surprised if he just started going for money fights. It'd be tight to see him fight BJ Penn.
Yeah, that'd
Fading
be
out.
man,
That would just be cool.
that'd be sick. I mean, it'd be a fair fight because they're both faded out. BJ probably a little bit more than Uriah, but
Yeah. Yeah, because Uriah stayed active these past. BJ's been gone for like 3 or 4 years now, right?
yeah, he's trying to pick a fight with GSP.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's.
Well,
going.
now he's got Nick Lentz.
Oh yeah,
So we'll see how that
aren't they
goes.
fighting on this card?
No, I think it's 04.
Are you sure? Because Nick Lentz is listed right here.
Oh shit, maybe so. Maybe I missed that. I don't see it on the UFCs. No, he's fighting Michael McBride. So I got that wrong. It's probably not Nick Lentz. Maybe that's who he's been wanting.
Yeah, I wonder who it is.
Yeah, I can't remember. Joe Rogan just talked about it.
Yeah, I saw it too. I can't remember.
But,
Other than that, though, one fight I'm really, really looking forward to. It's gonna be one of the earlier fights. Is Ian McCall, Ray Board.
yeah.
See Uncle Creepy get back in the.
I know it's been a while, man. I know he was contemplating retirement, which was a bummer because I actually really liked the guy. I thought his fights with Demetrius Johnson were like,
Yeah,
they're crazy because Ian McCall, what was he, Tachi Palace?
yeah.
Or-
Tachi Palace.
No one thought
125
he was
champ.
even slightly to the level of a UFC guy, but he had a crazy fan base. When he came over, he fought Demetrius Johnson, and like, holy shit, they went the distance, and it wasn't. He beat Demetrius in rounds. Like,
Yeah.
it was
I think
crazy.
it should have been a tie, right? Is
I
what
think
they
so.
said.
Yeah.
That the first fight should have been a tie. The second fight he lost, but I think that first fight he laid out the blueprint. Like,
Yeah.
this is how you beat Demetrius.
Yeah,
And I don't know why anybody hasn't gone with it. A guy like Cejudo had the perfect style to do
Yeah.
exactly what Ian McCall did.
Ooh, but man, Zuda just got fucking.
Yeah, he
wrecked.
did.
Jesus.
Yeah, he did.
That was bad. That was like almost a new Demetrius at that point.
Yeah.
Because you hadn't seen him really go in and pressure that
He's,
hard. and
yeah,
stuff.
he's evolved his style so much. But
Yeah, I like the guy. I think if you take out John Jones, I think the argument is out of those two for best pound for pound.
yeah,
And then you throw Dominic Cruz up there, but he needs to fight a little more frequently.
Jose Aldo,
Yeah.
just want to throw that in there. But I think that pretty much wraps up the big fights on that card.
Yeah.
Um,
Even this is better than UFC 200 in a sense.
Yeah. So coming up here, what is it? September 11th?
September 11th, Sunday.
Sunday, we're having some local fights here at Ambition 10.
Ambition 10. Yeah.
Yeah, Ambition 10. We're going to cover that card, but a while back somebody wanted to do fighter rankings a long time ago, and I feel they went about it the completely wrong way. Very disrespectful to fighters, and they really had no fight expertise. They knew nothing. It was, I don't know. We don't even know who he was. He would never release his face. He'd just post out his rankings and then be very disrespectful in the comments. And I think that's why he never posted his face, because he knew,
Yeah.
I'm talking mess about a bunch of fighters if they find out who I am.
Yeah.
My ass
I'm gonna
kicked.
be-
But since we are no longer a mixed martial arts gym, we're purely a kickboxing gym here. I have fight experience. Colton has been watching fights for years. Screech has a little bit of kickboxing experience, and he's been watching fights for however long.
Yeah.
We feel like this would be something cool that we can do and do it the right way. Put out our rankings, bring in some of these fighters for interviews, sit in on some of the podcasts, and talk to you guys about how they feel maybe about the rankings or just about their training, anything. So we want to try and get some more fighters in here. But as far as our rankings go, we're going to probably start off, what do you think, women's?
Yeah.
Start off with the women's? All right. So for the women's, and the way we're going to do these rankings is whatever weight class you fought in, and you had to do a fight before. So,
yeah,
like Ashley Rager has a fight coming up here. She's up here on the poster. She's got a fight coming up here. She won't be on our rankings because she has never fought before.
Yeah.
And for you guys that are saying, oh, you're dropping weight classes and you're moving around, we're just going to go by based on what weight classes you have competed in.
Right. Yeah. And we'll get, after you fought in that one, we'll adjust them as fights happen.
Yeah, as these fights go on, then we'll start adjusting the rankings. We'll move them around. We'll probably do one of these after every single fight card.
Yeah.
To show the different rankings. So for the women's, we have 115-pound women. We don't have any other women that compete in weight classes other than that.
Yeah,
I don't believe so. Yeah. Oh, and also we're only doing ambition cards.
Yeah, we're gonna do just the ambition cards for now.
So myself will be taken out. If you ever fought for Texas Rage in the Cage, you won't be listed on here. It's just we want to do fresh, updated fighters, guys who are still fighting.
Right.
So for the 115-pound women, number one we have Stacy Silva, who is 1-2. I think she's Aguilar now. I think she got married.
Yeah, I think on Facebook they have her tagged as Aguilar.
Okay, so Stacy Aguilar, she's a really nice person. She's a good fighter. She's solid. She's got a 1-2 record, and she'll be fighting for a championship coming up here pretty soon. And then second, we have Carly Cavazos, who is 0-3. She's a solid fighter too. I just feel she needs to get with the right people, get with the right camp, and really hone in on her skills rather than training for a fight all the time. A guy like Ben Henderson, he said it, like when he's not in a fight camp, he's still trying to hone his skills in the gym. Outside of fight camp is where you get yourself better. In a fight camp, that's where you get in shape and you prepare for a specific type of a fighter. So I think she just needs to get with the right camp, hone in on the skills, the things that she needs to work on, and just really, really get after it. So 125 guys, starting with Joseph Aguilar, Kid Lightning. Kid's got a lot of potential. He's really young. He's amazing on the ground. He's
like
18.
Yeah, okay. That's awesome.
18 years old, 4-0. Amazing on the ground. Really, really fast. I think that's why they call him Kid Lightning.
Yeah.
Because he's just super quick, especially on the ground. He can jump from a guillotine to jump on your back and rear naked you like that.
Right.
He's very, very slick on the ground. He comes from a good camp that produces a lot of fighters. And, the future looks bright for him if he continues doing the right things like he needs to.
Especially starting so young, man.
Yeah.
That's a real good thing. Is you can get so many techniques and so many things under your body young. You learn them good, and then you sharpen and get better. Like, he's still young. He has so much time to grow.
Yeah, I think I trained with him one time when he was 15, I think, back in the day. And I think I was still competing at that time or something like that. But he was, he showed promise then, and it's flourishing now. It's starting to come out. So he looks good. He just got to keep doing what he's doing. I'd like to see him fight a couple of tougher guys as we go on. He's got another title fight coming up on Ambition 10, and it's against a solid guy. He beat Eric Garcia, who was one of the top flyweights in all of Texas.
Was that his last fight?
Yeah, his last fight. The guy was like 5-0 or something like that. Wow. And he wound up beating him by unanimous decision, I believe.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good fight. Second, we have Juan Gonzalez, who is 0-3. He comes from the same camp as Joseph Aguilar. Juan, he's a talented guy, but I think that's all that we're looking at right now with him. Have you seen any of his fights yet?
He was one of the ones I couldn't find.
No, dude is like 5'2", like just stocky as can be, swolled up.
Like a John Lineker type guy?
Yeah, super fast, a lot of power. I really feel like he needs to get more technical with his things. Get with the coach who's going to spend a little bit of one-on-one time with you, work on your techniques both on the ground and standing up. His last fight was a very close decision loss. If he can work out those little kinks,
Right.
he's gonna be a force to reckon with at that
Yeah.
125 division. And then third was Steven Huerta or something like that. I think that's how you say it. I believe they all come from the same team right now, but I have not get to see much on him. I know that his first fight was a loss, and I heard it was a pretty dominant loss.
Yeah.
So that's why he will be pulling up the back end of the 125ers. And then if we go to bantamweight, this one's kind of shaky. It's a little bit hard.
Yeah.
Weto, we have number 1, or Chris Garcia.
Right.
He, I don't know. Can we even list him as a bantamweight?
I don't. What's he the champ? What?
Because he's made 135.
Uh-huh.
His last fight was for a title.
Mhm.
He missed weight by 4 pounds. And then, I don't know how he still got the title after he won. I mean, he won, but he still got the title. It was supposed to be vacated.
Yeah.
But I think because he did make it one time, I guess we're going to count him.
Yeah. That one's a weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know I heard about it, but I didn't even know the exact situation of what happened. I knew he won that same fight though, didn't he?
Yeah, he won that fight,
Yeah.
and somehow he still got to keep the title, even though it was
Yeah.
supposed to be vacated.
Yeah, I'd probably just leave it at 135.
Leave him at 135?
Technically, that's where it was at.
Yeah.
Is that where all of his fights are at, or is he
He's
fresh to
moved.
that?
He's actually moved from 55 to 45 to 35.
Oh wow, that's a big old jump.
Yeah, yeah, and his best performances actually came at the higher weight classes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The cuts, man, that's like the new way it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, those cuts can be bad for people.
He's fought some really talented guys and came away with big wins. Guys like R.J. Caspers is a solid fighter. Rob Simmons is a good fighter. He also has some tough losses against Alejandro Rodriguez, the guy that you said looks like Jose Aldo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Alejandro Rodriguez, and then David Waters, who's a pro fighter now. He has some tough losses, but he has some good wins behind him. He's a solid fighter. I think the biggest thing for him is he needs to find a camp and stick with it.
Yeah.
He's jumped around from camp to camp to camp, and he's never gotten to settle in and let a coach really hone in
Right.
and work on him the way that he needs to be. Fix the adjustments that he needs to make.
Right.
And I think that's going to be big for him once he finds a way to do it.
Yeah.
Anthony Tunches is our number 2. He's 1-0. He actually just switched over to come train with us. He's one of our kickboxers. He's a solid guy. He has a wrestling background back in high school, I believe.
Oh yeah.
And he trained a little bit at the Jiu-Jitsu Academy here for a little while. I think that's where he got his first win, was under them. And then he recently made the switch over to our gym. He wanted to work on some of his kickboxing and hone his striking skills. And
Right.
he's all around, I think he's probably one of the most complete fighters in that division.
Yeah.
Following that, we have Leroy Sanchez. I know a little bit about Leroy. I happen to have fought him once, and we were supposed to fight a second time. But he has a 1-2 record. The dude's just got like grown man strength, like you wouldn't
Yeah.
believe. It surprised me in our first fight, or whenever we got to fight. As soon as he grabbed a hold of me, it was like, dude benched like 400 pounds. What it
Yeah.
felt like. I mean, that dude was freaking strong. It definitely made for an awkward kind of grappling for me, going
Yeah.
against pure strength. But I think Leroy, again, he's taken a lot of time off. I'd like to see him come back. He trained with us for a long time. I'd love to get him back in here, work on his striking, get him with a good jiu-jitsu place or wrestling camp, and see what he can do from there. He was up for a 35-pound title in a different organization a while back, but an injury prevented him from getting that fight. And it was against another one of our Rufus Sport brothers, Aaron Gomez.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see him, really take probably 6 months. Take 6 months, hone in on those skills. Work your striking, work your grappling with legit guys, and jump back in there and see what he can do. I mean, he's a little bit higher up in age, but I think he's still got, a quick little career. He can make a good run at a couple titles
Yeah.
for a little while.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Number 4 is Dominic Galindo. I met him one time. We trained together one time. He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
His loss is coming to Anthony Tunches Again, a very close fight. It was a split decision. I think that was actually a crazy fight. That had to be like fight of the night. Yeah. Did you get to see it yet?
Mm-mm.
No? Oh, man.
No, I wanted to find that one. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to pull it up and let you take a look at it. Because, dude, they went at it. Like, Tunchez dropped him, but he was winning some of the grappling exchanges. And then it was a real back and forth fight. Some people said Galindo won. Some people said Tunchez won. I just thought it was a really fun fight to watch. It's just one of those ones.
Yeah.
And then fifth is Brandon Barrera. He trains with the Jiu-Jitsu Academy as well, where Monsters Den, I think, is... Yeah, I think they're like co-team or whatever. I don't know. They work together.
Yeah.
He,
that was.
Brandon Barrera?
The Monsters Den.
Oh, yeah, they're out of Wharton, but they also cross-train with the Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, right.
guys.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Brandon Barrera, he's 0-1. His first fight coming by submission loss to Rob Simmons. Rob Simmons is a legitimate guy. We didn't get to really see much from him just because it was such a quick finish. I'd like to see, he's fighting again coming up here at Ambition 10, so it'd be good to see him.
He is fighting?
Yeah, he's fighting coming up, so we can see a little bit more of him, and then from there make a better assessment. Just we don't have much to work off of with that one submission loss. At 145, this one's kind of tricky. It's a tricky division just because all these guys have moved up and down so many different weight classes, as well as there's been some things that just happened in the division that were just absolutely crazy. Joe Herrera is 1-1. The dude, he has a win over Cody Barker, who's at number 3 for us. He has a loss to Weto, who's our number 1 135er, but he was supposed to fight a few cards back. Comes in, makes weight, everything. The day of the fight just doesn't even show up. Nobody can find him. Nobody knows what happens, and I think he texted his brother or something is what I heard, and just said, hey, I'm not going. So that's pretty crazy, but I mean, he's one of those guys, again, with unbelievable athleticism and talent.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him focus on technique.
Right.
Get the technique down. Whatever's going on mentally, why you didn't fight or whatever that may be, get that solved and, really go after it. Because all that talent, you don't want to waste it. You really, really don't. Number 2 is a guy I used to train with back in the day, James Trimble. He's 1-1 with a win coming over Chris Garcia, who's our number 4. And his loss came to like Zach Flanagan. He fought like in the Valley or something. And it was a real mess up situation. Apparently, like, the team that he was affiliated with set him up to fight another guy that was affiliated with that team. But like they knew would win. Like I don't know. That's just rumors, that are kind of going around. I don't know the exact situation, so I don't want to really speak on it too much, but kind of crazy. James, explosive, super strong. I know he's put on a lot of weight. I doubt he's a 45er anymore. If he were to ever fight again, he's got to be like a 70.
Yeah.
He's got to be moving up to welterweight because dude just got like freaking stocky as can be.
Yeah, last time I saw him, he had put on a good amount of muscle.
Yeah.
I was surprised that when you said his weight, I was like, damn, he's big for 45.
And he was a freakishly strong athlete. Like, even whenever he fought at 45 but weighed in at 138.
God damn.
Yeah, and was like still like unbelievably strong. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that's crazy. To cut, be still that much under, and then have that crazy amount of strength.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I've known him for a long time. He idolizes guys like Jeremy Stevens, and I can see the resemblance in Jeremy Stevens and him. Just that one punch knockout power, very explosive, kind of a thing.
Right.
Number 3, we got Cody Barker. He's a guy who's jumped around from weight class to weight class, fought on plenty of different shows, and he's jumped around from gym to gym. He's another guy that I think find a home gym, stick with it, let the coaches develop you, but don't go to somebody's garage and think that you're gonna become an amazing fighter. Go to a legitimate gym. Find the top gyms with the top coaches, the top credentials. Go and train with those guys and you know, your career will no matter what get better.
Yeah.
Now he's 2-2, so he doesn't have a bad record.
Right.
It's just he could have a better one against better fighters.
Right.
You know.
Especially if it was just getting sharper with the same person for
Yeah.
that much longer.
Yeah, for sure. And then last was Chris Garcia.
All right, so now we have the lightweights. At number 1, we got John Herrera, who's 5-0. How many people on the 55s has he beat that you know of?
Dude, actually, he has not fought any of those guys.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So all of them are
everybody
good
he's fought.
matchups
He's fought the. I think if you look like pound for pound, he would be number one
Yeah.
based on the people he's fought.
then. Okay.
Everybody he's fought is like super, super high level.
Yeah, I saw a few of his fights. I watched there a few of them on YouTube, and then other. I think it was YouTube, maybe one on Facebook, but I actually got to see his. Then at number 2, we have Nathan Stansberry, who isn't he supposed to fight soon?
I'm
I
not
know.
sure. I haven't heard much on him. I just know
Okay.
his wrestling game is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we have Clay Kaufman at number 3, who fights on Ambition 10. He'll be fighting Brandon Wakefield, who is new to that division. I think that'll be his first fight at 55?
Yeah, first
Okay,
fight,
so-
55.
Then we have Evan Ellerby, who's 1-1, going at number 4.
He has a loss to Stansberry.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's his only win.
Mhm.
What's that fight? Okay. 5 is Pete Herrera, who is 1-2, and then I guess is that one no contest or a
Yeah,
draw?
one no contest. I poke.
Ooh, tough.
Yeah.
Did he get poked, or did he? Poke
No, he
somebody?
poked somebody else.
Ugh, man, that
Yeah.
that's a worry. Then you got Peter Morales at 6, who's 0-1.
His loss came to Pete Herrera.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Anthony Kinney at number 7, who is 0-7. Anthony Kinney, that name sounds familiar. Does he-
Tony, they call him Tony Kenny.
That's probably why
Yeah.
I've probably seen his name.
I think
He
he's
trains
0
here in
1. I
town.
might have wrote that.
Yeah.
That wrong.
Oh.
0-1. You said 0-7.
Oh, my bad. 0-7. sorry. 0-1. Yeah, his name actually sounds familiar to me. He must have been tagged on something. He trains here in town?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, from there we'll go to 170, who number 1 at 170 is Paul Gonzalez at 2-0. And then you have Brandon Wakefield at number 2, who's moving down to 155. So we'll be able to place him accordingly after this fight. Which we'll figure out how we're going to do that ranking. Say he beats Clay. Clay's at 3, right?
Yeah, something like that. Clay
Would
would
we like
slide
switch?
down.
Yeah,
and
put him in front.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's the traditional ranking. I just didn't know if that's how. UFC's got some weird ranking.
Yeah.
So
Unbelievable.
from 170, you'll go to 185. Who you have number 1? You have Kobe Mulder at 1-0, number 1, 185, and then under him, you have Luke Scott, who fought Paul. Which it said it was a middleweight fight. I didn't see it in person. I saw the video, and that was a big kid though. And Paul's down at 170, so
Yeah.
that
Shows
was
how
a
good Paul
win.
is.
Yeah. And we couldn't find a list of any actual
Light
light
heavyweights.
heavyweights. So we'll jump right from 185 to heavyweight, which you have Walter. How do you say this thing? Krauser?
Yeah, Krauser.
Okay, make sure I said that right. Who's 5-2, and then at 2 you have Brandon Evans, who's 3-1. Those two guys just fought each other last for the title.
Wally pulled off the win.
Yeah, and then Wally got the win, which it seemed kind of controversial over what people were saying. And I've only seen snippets of the fight itself, so I'm not too sure. But I'm sure they'll fight again.
Yeah, more
I'm
than
sure they
likely.
will. We did
the women's,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. From here, we got the Ambition card, which is September 11th.
We're only going to be covering the locals that'll be fighting on that
So-
card, which is quite a bit.
Yeah. So then we'll start at the top of the list here, which is John Herrera and Joshua Hill.
Fighting for the 155-pound title.
Right.
This is John Herrera's third undefeated guy that he's fighting in a row.
Oh wow. And then-
Unbelievable.
so this wasn't even on the list. So
Yeah,
it's-
he's
okay.
from Austin, San Antonio, Somers.
Okay. So
Good
that's
fighter.
big-
He's a champion of some other organization.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So then he's actually out there getting some good fights.
Yeah, John's fought the best of the best.
That's interesting. I'll actually be attending the card. I don't know how many other people from the gym will, but I know I will be there So I'll be able to keep an eye on it and see what goes on. Then for the 125 title, we have Joseph Aguilar and Preston Anderson, which you're familiar with Preston.
Yeah, I know Preston from, he's from Corpus. He's got some good Muay Thai. He fought one of my friends at Shoot Box a while back. And Preston struggles against high-level strikers and guys who are really strong, good, strong wrestlers. So I think this is going to be a tough fight for Joseph, being as Joseph's primary is, pure jiu-jitsu. It has nothing to do with strength, nothing to do with wrestling. He's a pure jiu-jitsu guy. And Preston's really tall, man. He's 6'1".
Oh, wow.
Fighting in the 125-pound division.
Jeez, man. That's
You got to think the majority of Joseph's takedowns come, he gets him up against the cage, and then he takes him down. But a guy who's 6'1", he's got a wide base. It's going to be hard to pull him in.
How tall is Joseph, probably?
He's 5'6", maybe.
That's a tough. That'll be a big reach advantage potentially too, unless he's got T-Rex arms.
Yeah. We'll see how that fight plays out. That's going to be a tough one.
That'll be interesting. I'm excited to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Then for the 115 title, we have Stacey Aguilar and Fatima Mallet. Is it Mallet or Mallet?
Mallet.
Okay, thought so. That'll be a good one.
Fatima is a beast.
Yeah,
Stacey's good and all, but I've seen Fatima fight, and Fatima with her head on right is an absolute animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw her last fight, which was Carly, I think.
Yeah.
And she looked good. And that was the only thing I'd seen. I haven't seen much of Stacey, but I do see her talked a lot throughout the promotions and stuff. I see her, I know they always like her to fight. Then after that, you have at 155, just a regular 155 fight. That was all the title fights. You have Brandon Wakefield, and Clay Kaufman, which I'm actually really excited for this fight. This one should be really good. I'm interested to see how Brandon does at 55. I saw he posted a picture on Facebook. He was in great shape, man.
Yeah, dude,
he really did.
Ripped.
He looked great. And Clay, I actually don't know Clay, but I did see his last fight. It was quick, so I couldn't make too much of his.
I've trained with Clay a little bit. He's got good striking. He's good on the ground, so he's a solid fighter everywhere. I think this is going to be a really good fight. What I saw from Wakefield's fight with Paul, dude got rocked off of a slam, but was still fighting for submissions off the bottom.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine Wakefield with his head on straight on the bottom position.
Right.
Imagine how much better those submission attempts would have been.
Man, that's true.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
It's crazy how one moment can change a fight completely.
Yeah. And man, I'm really excited for that fight. Honestly, that's probably the fight I'm most excited for on the whole card. I'm really excited for that. 135, you got Brandon Barrera and Jeremy Herrera. Is that 135 125?
135.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think Brandon's the one that we want to see more from, and I think this is going to be a good fight for him, so we can see and rank him accordingly.
Right. Yeah, that'll be awesome to be able to. Yeah, is Jeremy Herrera already on there?
No, Jeremy's not from
here. Okay. That was what I was going to ask. All right, then next you have 115 women's division. You got newcomer. You got Ashley Rieger coming out versus Carly Cavazos. This will be a great fight as well. I'm interested to see how it starts because I know Ashley's going to want to go in, start guns blazing real quick.
That's going to be the loudest fight there
because
both of them have huge fan bases. Yeah. Carly brings in tons of people every fight card. Ashley, she's got her Facebook going. She easily hitting 100 likes on everything. I think it's going to be a tough fight for Carly.
Right.
Ashley starts fast from what I've seen in her kickboxing matches.
Right.
She starts very fast, and that's where Carly kind of struggles. So, but if Carly can weather the storm, maybe Ashley gasses.
Yeah. Well,
you never know.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
That's going to be that's the start of that fight. Is going to be like
fireworks.
Oh shit! Yeah. The whole time. Then next you jump to heavyweight and you have Brandon Evans and Adam Sugar. I've seen a few of Brandon's older fights and I'm not familiar with Adam Sugar. Did you say he was a local or
he's a local guy just kind of jumping in. I don't even think he trains anywhere. I know somebody, a very, very good welterweight that was offering to jump up 4 weight classes to fight Brandon Evans, but Brandon Evans turned it down. I wish he would have taken that fight over somebody that nobody knows or even trains at all.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
whatever. You know,
Right.
his wins came to guys who were at a combined record of 0-9. So
Okay,
I want
yeah.
to see him actually fight somebody of high level.
Right. At heavyweight, we have Christian Anderson and Johnny Aguilar.
Christian Anderson is legit. 5-1, all 5 wins coming by first round knockout. He is a freaking beast, and his striking is not good. Now I'm gonna be honest. If we're being honest here, it's not good. He grabs you. He looks like you said earlier, a rugby player. Like
Yeah,
he
I think
grabs
he
you.
does. I looked at his
Really?
Facebook. I'm pretty sure he
Yeah.
plays rugby. So he's a big motherfucker.
Yeah, he grabs you, throws you to the ground, gets on top, and ground and pounds you into a pole.
Wow.
But that could backfire on him now. Johnny's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt.
Oh,
So
interesting.
this is going to be the old school wrestler versus the Jiu-Jitsu guy.
Yeah.
Who's going to win this matchup? Both guys, I don't think, have very good striking, but I think this is going to be one of those exciting fights if it hits the ground.
Yeah.
Because they're both huge heavyweights.
Yeah.
Christian Anderson has a first round knockout over heavyweight champ Wally Krauser. So,
I
you
didn't
know,
know that.
it's going to be very, very cool to see, you know, who's going to win this battle on the
Right.
ground. And Johnny Aguilar is actually the father of flyweight champ Joseph
Yeah.
Aguilar.
You got the whole family on this card.
Yeah, the son and the wife.
Yeah.
Stacy is Johnny's wife, so I mean,
Man,
it's a
that's-
family affair here.
Yeah.
If they can all pull off wins, that'll be huge. That'll be
Yeah.
awesome.
And a lot of these guys are at the same camp, right?
Yeah, a lot of them are
VBJJ?
VBJJ and Monster Den guys.
Okay, yeah.
so it's
that'll
going to be cool to see. This is going to be good for their team. You know, possibly we'll go back and do a team ranking
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
later on. But this will be great for them to add on and then see the things that they got to fix possibly with their fighters. I'm excited for this card.
Yeah, me too. And this isn't even all the fights, right? There's still a few more that were left off.
Yeah, there was still some that were left off. We only covered the local guys, but I mean,
Still a lot of fights.
yeah, I mean, what, 3-4 title fights, something like
Yeah.
that. They pretty much put together two fight cards
Yeah.
to make one
Jam-packed
massive, awesome fight card.
Yeah, he did a good job with this one.
Absolutely, yeah. I think this is how they need to be every single time. Put
Yeah,
something
that'd be really sick.
big together like that.
Even if it wasn't as frequent, but they're all this good.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that'd be great.
Absolutely.
That'd be really awesome. But yeah, we'll keep updating the rankings, you know, and none of it is to be like disrespectful to guys or, you know, we don't want anybody to take offense to it because they're ranked lower than they think they are. You know, really, we're just going to go off what we've seen, and we're putting a bias aside. So we're not trying to just be like, I really like this guy, so I think he should be here. We're going to try and get him real good rankings, you know, from what we've seen, what we can see. We'll be watching the fights, keeping updates. You guys are always welcome to come on. Any of the fighters that want to get on, or even if you were to want to do any kind of just a regular interview, come hang out. You know, we're always open to do it. Typically there'll be more of us here. This time it was just me and Jacob, but we'll have updated rankings. We'll put out, you know, I can put out some pictures of it, you know, show stuff, and then as people move up and down, we'll update it. But
Yeah.
you know, we don't want anybody to come at us crazy thinking that we're
Yeah,
trying to shit
yeah.
on you, because we're not.
100% bias aside on all these. We're just trying to help the community, and especially the MMA community. Even though we're a kickboxing gym, I still love the MMA sport, and I want to help. I want to help grow that, and I know that's what Colton wants to do, and Screech whenever he's here. That's what we all want to do.
Yeah.
So you know, a chair is always open for anybody, any fighters, any coaches, any promoters.
Yeah.
Even if you're a major fan of the mixed martial arts scene here, you know, go ahead and send us a message, and we can see about getting you on, getting you
Right.
scheduled in for one of our podcasts. And you know, we'd love to have you guys out here.
Yeah.
I think this is really going to help grow our community.
Yeah, or even if you guys wanted to come sharpen up and just train something straight for a while, it'd be
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
I mean,
If you want to learn some strictly kickboxing stuff, you know, let us know. We can bring you guys in here, help you guys out, work some Thai pads with you, whatever you guys want.
yeah, it'd be real nice. But you got anything else?
Nah, man, it's good.
All right, sweet. So I guess we'll see you guys next time. We'll probably put out another one after
After the fight card, yeah.
Yeah, sometime. If not next week, the week after. There's a lot of fights coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
On top of this, you know, you have
Yeah.
Glory, UFC. I think Shudo Brazil has stuff. So there's all kinds of stuff going on. But
Yeah.
we'll get back with you guys later.